She doesn't even go here.
I'm Peyton.
And I'm Eric. Welcome to this week's parody edition of CSC Video Magazine. According to the Mayan calendar, the end of the world is near. At least that's what 30-year-old plumber Ludwig Broquet believes. Broquet is a Mayan apocalypse believer who has been camping below Mount Bugarik for about a week now, waiting for the world to end. He, along with many others, believes that the mountain will provide safety and refuge from the apocalypse. It's supposed to happen December 21st. The mountain is located at an altitude of 4,040 feet near the border of France and Andorra. Broquet has been preparing for this trip for over a year and believes that there are extraterrestrials beneath the mountain, waiting for the world to end to return to their home planet, and Broquet hopes they will take him with them. Only time will tell if this ambitious apocalypse believer is in fact right about this, or he spent the last year of his life planning a trip that was completely unnecessary. We'll give you an update on December 22nd. Or maybe not. 2 weeks ago, we ran a story about storm victims in Haiti. Many of you were captivated by the late Debbie, a 2.5-year-old former lamb from Gonaives in the northern part of the island. Tonight, we would like to share with you the brief history of America's favorite lamb. 3 years ago, Debbie the lamb was born in a manger in Haiti. Debbie was adopted by an elderly woman named Mary Ouptebut, where her birth parents were euthanized for being black sheep. Debbie followed Mary to school one day, school one day, school one day, but Mary got pissed and told Debbie that she had to find a new place to live. So Debbie packed her bags and moved to San Francisco, where she began living with her boyfriend, Gary that Goat, whom she met on ChristianMingle.com. Gary won Debbie over by commenting on her fleece that he said was white as snow. The relationship would only last about a year before Debbie found Gary in bed with another goat. Heartbroken, Debbie moved back to Haiti in early 2012, where she met Jubilee D. Homage Baron at a bar. Homage Baron was asked to appear on the program tonight, but instead released this statement to our producers. "I didn't sleep with that lamb, but if I did, what's it to you?" Gross. Debbie lived with Mr. Homage Baron until she died on that tragic afternoon, last June. Debbie and Homage Baron decided to take a quick dip in the lake, where she drowned at the tender age of 2.5. R.I.P. Debbie, you will be missed, but you were delicious. Recently in London, England, a monkey believed to be 7 months old was seen wearing a fur coat roaming alone in the streets. The monkey had apparently escaped from his owner's vehicle and was walking around the streets unattended. The city's animal control department came and took the monkey.
Celebrating a new law in Washington state which allows him to freely smoke marijuana within his home. Local man Eric Sarone, 25, told reporters Thursday there is no longer any political or social issue he feels strongly about in any way whatsoever. Yeah, the right to smoke marijuana legally was pretty much the only thing even remotely tying me to the events going on in the world, said Sarone, who reservedly took a drag from a joint before adding that he does not have an impassioned stance on anything such as the economy, healthcare, gay rights, unemployment, Gaza, global warming, or any other major domestic or international matter. I used to consider myself pretty political before this law was passed, but now I realize this was actually the one and only political issue I actually cared about. I don't really give a shit about anything else, frankly. Apple unveiled its new Iris for iPhones today. The device is designed to keep Americans fat and lazy by allowing them to control their phones with a simple glance, eliminating the need for Americans to use their hands for anything except eating and scratching themselves. The reanimated head of Steve Jobs was quoted as saying it's the latest phase in Apple's exciting new 12-step plan to take over the universe. Here's to Jake with entertainment.
Welcome to entertainment. I'm Jake. What's the difference between Kristen Stewart's naked midsection and a man's naked midsection? Stewart's will be shown across the world in her upcoming new film, On the Road. So everyone grab your binoculars, purchase a ticket. This should be a horrendous ride, I guess. As if this haircut isn't saying enough, Disney star Miley Cyrus was spotted singing at a topless dance club last week. What does Disney do to these young adults to make them cry for attention? Her recent tweets state that she cannot sleep. Maybe she's having visions of ecstasy. just like Rihanna? According to BuzzReactor.com, Taylor Swift is losing her good girl image. Swift explains she no longer wants to be a role model to women and instead wants to spend her millions the right way, which means on sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Is Swift in line to become the next Kesha or Lindsay Lohan? Either way, watch out, Hollywood. Earlier this year, pop singer Katy Perry divorced Russell Brand last Tuesday. She married 77-year-old Charles Manson in the basement of the California Department of Corrections. Perry claims that she has always been attracted to Manson because he looks like Brand in his younger days. Perry hopes that the two of them will be able to make things work with her busy schedule and his life slowly coming to an end in prison. The Wiggles will be rocking the Paramount Theater this coming January. The Disney Channel superstars will be stopping with their Wiggle Wiggle Yeah tour. It will be a one-night-only extravaganza. Also touring with the Wiggles is Disney Channel superstar Hannah Montana. This is the first time that both are in New England area. Tickets are going for around $150 for general admission and $300 for front row seats and a backstage pass, and an autographed bubblegum wrapper. For more information on this event, go visit gowiggleyourself.com. Now back to Eric.
This past Saturday, the Caston local library had a sale on some books that had been on the shelf for quite some time, and many enthusiasts went in to check out what was in stock. Even some of the local elementary school children took time out of class to grab a book. According to Jan Jones, library director and children's services librarian, reportedly was asked by a student if they had any copies of Moby Dick. Jones replied, "Yes, of course we have Moby Dick. Shall I help you find it?" The child simply replied, "I thought something smelled fishy here." Although quite a few laughs were had, the true joke here was that they were completely out of copies of Moby Dick. Now over to Max with sports.
Thanks, Eric. I'm a sportscaster because I like balls. This past weekend, the New York Jets officially became the worst team to watch in NFL history, which quarterback Mark Sanchez fell into a tie for most boring player ever along with the left defensive tackle from the 1934 Cleveland Browns. Even announcer Phil Simms was quoted as saying, "Fuck this," and then left the press booth. Other teams also played last weekend, but who cares? According to the Vermont Tribune, robber John Kendall was arrested Wednesday afternoon. He was spotted outside of a Dunkin' Donuts in South Burlington. Kendall, being 6 foot and 160 pounds, has been able to slip through the fingers of state police for a long time and has committed several serious crimes. Kendall was arrested on several accounts of armed robbery, 3 accounts of DUI, 9 accounts of car theft, 5 accounts of public nudity. But who hasn't? Prior to being a criminal, he served as the high school quarterback coach of Mark Sanchez and was an actor in Friends. As actor in Friends, Kendall was credited as background walker in episodes 7, 17, and 42. Sanchez and actress Jennifer Aniston were contacted Wednesday evening regarding the news. Dr. Phil has plans to have both Sanchez and Aniston interviewed Friday. Sanchez is determined to set this right and get Kendall out of those allegations. Trial will take place on Monday, December 17th, live on CBS Judge Judy. On Wednesday, CSC President Dave Walk announced that the college would release Mark Klatt as head football coach. This came as a shock to many, but after allegations that Klatt was unable to finish the fourth quarter of the Norwich game after drinking heavily from the Vermont maple syrup bucket, which reportedly has started to ferment, it seemed to be Walk's only choice. Walk has named himself intern coach. Turkish Wheelchair Basketball League game ended with tear gas this past week, after a mob of angry fans began rioting to protest the lack of hustle. Fire extinguishers were also fired off into the arena. None of the athletes were harmed in the riot, despite several wheelchairs sliding off the floor and down the stairs from the slippery fire extinguisher runoff. Back to you girls in the studio.
I'm Peyton.
And I'm Eric. Thanks you guys for watching the Caston Video Magazine.